Welcome back to Brews 101. Hopefully I'm sounding a little bit better. I got some new audio equipment in the studio this week. Today we are going to go over rum, some of the history, some of the classifications, some of the laws that kind of govern what makes it rum, and some cool facts and stuff for you. Rum is produced by fermenting sugarcane molasses or sugarcane juice, and then taking that mixture and then distilling it. And by distilling it, it produces the alcohol essentially, which is a clear liquid that's usually aged in oak barrels. So with most liquors are going to be produced in various grades. Rum is going to be commonly available in either a light or a dark. Dark or golden rums were typically consumed straight neat on the rocks, or they were used for cooking. Premium rums are made to be consumed straight or on the rock. Now there is some speculation on where rum originated from, but the widely accepted origination comes from the Caribbean. Rum plays a pretty big part in the culture of most islands of the West Indies, as well as the maritime provinces and Newfoundland and Canada. Rum has some famous associations with the Royal Navy, where it was mixed with water and beer to make grog, and of course made famous by pirates. And what they like to do with rum is they like to make a little concoction called bumbo that is made from rum, water, sugar, and nutmeg, and sometimes cinnamon. So the origin of the word rum is pretty unclear. It's widely accepted though that the hypothesis is that it is related to rumbullion, and that's a drink that's made from boiling sugarcane stalks, or could possibly come from rumbustion, which was a slang word for uproar or tumult. Though the origin of those words and the nature of the relationship are unclear, both words surfaced in English about the same time as rum did, in 1651 and 1661. Now dividing rum up into different categories gets a little complicated because there's really no single standard that exists for what constitutes rum and what makes rum rum. Instead, rum is pretty much defined by the varying rules and laws of the nations producing rum. Sorry for saying rum so much, I feel like I'm saying rum every other word. Rum, 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 rum. Now, there does seem to be some standards in some countries, like Mexico requires rum to be aged a minimum of 8 months. The Dominican Republic, Panama, and Venezuela all require 2 years. Argentina defines rums as white, gold, light, and extra light. Grenada and Barbados uses the term white, overproof, and matured, even fancy. While the United States defines rum as rum, liquor, and flavored rum. Yes. In Australia, however, rum is divided into dark or red rum. Red rum, red rum. Alright, so now we'll jump into some of the grades of rum. You got dark rum, also known by their particular color, like black, brown, or red. These are going to be typically aged longer in heavily charred barrels, giving them a much stronger flavor than either the light or the gold rums. They are usually made from caramelized sugar or molasses. Most dark rums are going to come from areas like Jamaica, the Bahamas, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. There's flavored rums, which are infused with fruits like bananas, mangoes, oranges, typically tropical flavors. They're generally less than 40% alcohol by volume, or 80 proof if you're not familiar with the proofs. They're mostly served in real flavored tropical drinks that you'd find on the islands typically. You got gold rum, also called amber rums. These are going to be a little more medium bodied. They're generally aged, and these gain their dark color from aging in wooden barrels, usually the charred white oak barrels, a byproduct of bourbon whiskey. And moving on to light rums, also referred to as silver or light rums. Now these are going to be pretty popular in your mojitos and your daiquiris. These have very little flavor aside from just a general sweetness. A lot of these light rums, the majority of these light rums come from Puerto Rico, making them milder flavored, and they're really popular in mixed drinks as opposed to drinking them straight. Now this next grade, I wasn't sure if I was going to include in this episode, but Because it's kind of popular, I might as well, and that's spiced rum. And honestly, don't buy spiced rum. If you want a good spiced rum, go out and buy premium rum and then add your own spices to it. A lot of the spices that are in spiced rum that you'd find nowadays are cinnamon, rosemary, pepper, cloves, I don't know, allspice. There's just a lot of spices that they can put in, and you just really don't know what they have in there, what kind of concoction you're gonna get. So due to the tropical climate, common to most rum producing areas, it's gonna mature at a much higher rate than is typical for like whiskey or a brandy. An indication of this higher rate is called the angel's share, or the amount of product that's lost to evaporation while it's aging and just sitting in the barrels. For example, liquor stored and aged in France or Scotland will only see about a 2% loss each year. Tropical rum producers can see that spike as much as 10%. Now, after the rum is aged, the final step in the rum making process is to take it and blend it to achieve and ensure a more consistent flavor. If cooking's your thing, I'm sure you're well aware that rum's really popular in a lot of cooked dishes. Stuff like rum balls and rum cakes. There's even rum ice cream out there with raisins. If raisins is your thing, it's not my thing, but more power to you. Alright guys, that's rum in a nutshell for you. Thanks for tuning in to another Brews 101 and listening to me say the word rum over and over and over again. Take it easy guys, cheers.